All right, welcome to episode 8. I had to do one more today. I know I was going to be busy all day tomorrow, so let's see. We only got 4 left, so I think the day after tomorrow I might have to hit up the store. All right, I'm going to do one that feels a little bit light. I can already see Duran, Union of the Snake, which is the jam, and Shooting Star, Where Are You Gonna Run? I don't know that one. Let's get into it. Excuse me. All right, so first off, Shooting Star. B said with Do You Feel Alright? We have Chicago Rescue You and What You're Missing. Earth, Wind, and Fire, Magnetic. That's a cool album cover, too. Dionne Warwick and Luther Vandross. How Many Times Can We Say Goodbye? And What Can a Miracle Do? Joe Boxers, Just Got Lucky. Excuse me. And Forget Me, Love. The Fabulous Thunderbirds, Stand Back. It Takes a Big Man to Cry. Big Country, All of Us, and In a Big Country. There's that jam. All right, and that is a jam. Cool, it's like to get that one. The S.O.S band, Just Be Good to Me, and Just Be Good to Me, instrumental. I think I know this one. I think this one is a jam. I don't know. I'm excited to check that one out. All right. Lionel Richie, All Night Long. All Night. And Wandering Stranger. Man, I get a lot of these Lionel Richies and Commodores. A lot of Lionel Richie. Mary Jane Girls. All right, Boys. And another version of Boys. Oh, Boys Instrumental. All right, produced by Rick James. Sweet. And Rick James. Money Talks, and You Bring the Freak Out. And Rick James, Bring the Freak Out. All right. When Boys Talk instrumental, Indeep, I guess is the name of this one. Check it out. Reflex, The Politics of Dancing. Oh, I know that one. The Politics of... I'm not going to sing it for you, though. Cool. Peabo, Bryson, and Roberta Flack. Tonight, I Celebrate My Love. Soft rock classic. The Jonzun Crew. Space is the Place. And Space Cowboy. All right, it's on Tommy Boy Records. Interesting. Stevie Nicks, Gate and Garden. And Nightbird. I don't know if I'm familiar with those. I do like me some Stevie Nicks. Quincy Jones, featuring Toots Thielmans. Velas and 100 Ways. Oh, featuring James Ingram. I know this one. Huh. Kind of a soft rock classic. I wonder if that's still good. That'll be interesting. Donnie Iris, My Girl, and The Last to Know. And Duran, Union of the Snake. Feels like there's something else in here. Oh no, it's just really thick. Union of the Snake and Secret Oktober. All right. So, gonna give these a listen. I'll be right back. All right, so it's actually a couple days later. I've been busy. So I've listened to the albums. This is what we got. So Donnie Iris, The Last to Know, and My Girl. I don't know. It was just very generic. All I could think of was boardwalk music, and I don't really know what that means, but it's how I describe it as generic boardwalk music, whatever that's worth. Peabo, Bryson, and Roberta Flack. Tonight, I celebrate my love for you. I don't know what to say about that. It was a very popular song. It's old and kind of boring. And Born to Love on the other side, again, pretty boring, but at least it has a bass line to it. I'm not keeping them. The Fabulous Thunderbirds, Stand Back. It sounds like, so their big hit was Tough Enough. And it sounds like they just tried to rewrite it with these, but just less good and just very generic. I don't know, they seem like a one-trick pony in my limited exposure to them. And then Chicago with Rescue You and What You're Missing. Boring. Just 80s, boring. Not into it. All right, Quincy Jones featuring James Ingram, 100 Ways. I knew the song. Another soft rock classic. This is a pretty good song. I'm okay with it. And the other side has Quincy Jones and Toots from Toots and the Maytals. So I was expecting something with a little reggae or something, and it isn't. It's kind of a breezy, jazzy, soft, rockish. I don't know. It's okay. It's all right. You can let it play in the background on a summer day or something like that. Okay, I'll probably keep it. Stevie Nicks, Nightbird. It's all right. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about it. And then Gate and Garden, I was even less crazy about that, but I may keep it. Oh. The Jonzun Crew with Space Cowboy. Oh, and Space is a Place. Space Cowboy. This was some pretty interesting stuff on Tommy Boy Records. I was like, oh, maybe, 80s, hip-hop or something. And it's very electro. And I don't know. It was interesting stuff. I've never heard of these guys. And, but definitely interesting. I dug it. I'm going to keep it. Interesting enough to keep. Indeep, When Boys Talk. Now, when you look at this record, it's kind of tough to see the name, what the name of the band is, whatever. I mean, you can see it says Sound of New York all over. I mean, we're talking Sound of New York. SNY 604, I can only assume that means Sound of New York. And then, of course, the Sound of New York. And then 1983, Sound of New York recordings. But then over here, you can see it says Indeep. So that's the name of the band. And over here, When Boys Talk. So anyway, it's interesting. 80s New York. It sort of has that electro, I don't know, hip-hoppy, poppy, R&B-ish. I don't know. It was just interesting enough, and especially the instrumental is interesting enough that I am going to keep it. But I was not familiar with that. Joe Boxers, Just Got Lucky. Hold on one second. All right. Joe Boxers, Just Got Lucky. I recognize that like an early 80s new wave track. It was 1983, yeah. I don't know. Good enough. I'm kind of on the fence about it. And then Keep and Pile. Pretty decent haul from this pack. So we got Reflex, The Politics of Dancing. I think I remember that from my Man Ray days as well. The B-side with Flex It. That's a pretty cool tune. Pretty cool tune as well. Dionne Warwick and Luther Vandross. How many times can we say goodbye? And what a miracle! What can a miracle do? So this normally isn't my type of stuff. I really dug this. I don't know what it was about this, but Dionne and Luther, it was really good. This is normally the thing I just find boring and whatever, but whatever they did it right on this. And then on the other side, what a miracle can do. I mean, shout out to the Jamiroquai sound effects on that one. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool track. I don't know. I was surprised, pleasantly surprised with Dionne Warwick here. Shooting Star. This is interesting. This, again, I was pleasantly surprised with. This seems like just generic 80s rock. And it was just cool enough and just catchy enough that I'm like, you know what? I kind of dig this. And Where You Gonna Run is the A-side. Do You Feel Alright, the B-side. This came out in 1982. And Do You Feel Alright, I kind of think is ahead of its time. It predated that hair metal. It predated all those bands, and it's very much that sound. So that was an interesting find as well. Duran, Union of the Snake. Great tune. And B-side, Secret Oktober, that was actually a pretty good tune as well. The underrated part about Duran that gets lost to history is just how funky they are. And you listen to the guitar and the bass on Union of the Snake, and that is funky. Speaking of funky, Rick James, Money Talks, and You Bring the Freak Out. It's just classic Rick James. Not the greatest stuff in the world, but just great, funky Rick James. And another Rick James project, and these tunes were written by Rick James, the Mary Jane Girls with Boys. And as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, you know, it's not really that good of a tune, but, you know, the music is excellent, you know, and it's so funky and it's so Rick James. And then I flip it over to side B, and it's the instrumental. That's why I'm keeping it, man. Lionel Richie, All Night Long, all night. You know it, you know, soft rock. It's fun to sing along to, and it really is so cheesy though. And side B, man, Wandering Stranger, Lionel Richie and his ballads, man, they are just too much, man. He is cheesy, but I gotta keep it. The S.O.S. band, Just Be Good to Me. This is, I think, the band I was thinking it was funky stuff and kind of rocking. It's pretty good. And then the instrumental on the other side. Again, I'm digging these instrumentals. Big Country, In a Big Country. You know it. 80s classic. And it rocks, too. It's a pretty rocking tune. So definitely going to my 80s pile. And then, man. Earth, Wind and Fire. Magnetic. This is such a jam, man. I cannot believe I have never heard this before. It is such a jam. And even side B, Speed of Love. Man, what a jam. What a jam. I realize I don't know anything about Earth, Wind, and Fire's 80s stuff. And this makes me really want to check it out because, man, this was so fantastic. Yeah, so another good pack. Oh. And I happen to swing by, you know, That's Entertainment this afternoon because, you know, I had to get a couple more because I was running out. So, you know, I'm going to be doing this for at least a little while longer. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.